illusion that we're not alone. Feels good to be blinded by the beat. I won't stop until he steps on my feet. Eyes in the dark, always watching. Eyes in the dark, always watching. Madness created by the night, passion jaded by the fright. I got the feeling someone else is in the room, like a shadow cast by the moon. Eyes in the dark, always watching. Whoa, 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 whoa. Eyes in the dark, they's always watching now.
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I gotta say is, who that? Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, Timothy J. Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Really do appreciate your time spending a little bit of your Friday night with yours truly. Y'all know normally I don't do shows on Friday night, but I know over the last couple of days I said that I wanted to do another live stream just to kind of, see what people were, talking about when it comes to the New Orleans Saints. The last time we did a live stream, I was talking about the Saints 2025 schedule, and I had the Saints having the same exact record they had last season, which is 5-12. And, I'm pretty sure people had some things to say, but couldn't go as long. Not going to be a long show tonight either, but I'm going to dedicate this show to listening to the members of the Who Dat Nation. So if you want to chime in, you want to, talk a little bit about the Saints schedule, feel free to do so. I don't really expect too many people, in the live stream tonight, especially it being a Friday. But I did want to honor my word and do a live stream. But in the meantime, I want to say thank you to those that chimed in, those that commented after the show. There was a lot of feedback from the last episode that we did live. Shouts out to everybody that checked out the little brief 5-minute video I put out on yesterday. If you're watching this on a Friday, it was on a Thursday night. And, I ended up doing that. So appreciate everybody for checking out that video. But we're going to be talking a little bit about the Saints not having any primetime games this 2025 season. And there's been so much talk about the New Orleans Saints not having a primetime game among Saints fans, reporters, etc. And everybody's been answering the question, should the Saints get at least one primetime game? You look at some of these teams that have struggled throughout the years. They found themselves on primetime. But, I just got to say, the Saints, this is a tough pill to swallow for some, but the Saints aren't an interesting football team outside of people that are fans of this football team and outside the state of Louisiana. I mean, the Saints have never been a polarizing team. Like, they just never have. Like, they were a team that many people didn't want to talk about, but they were so good, they had no choice. And now the Saints aren't good. They're not going to talk about them, and they don't find them interesting. The NFL is about narratives and parody. Like, I don't know how many different ways I can explain this to you. I've said this over the years. The NFL is about parody, it's about nostalgia, it's about historical significance. Throughout the course of time, the New Orleans Saints were known as a snake-bitten franchise. They were not very good. They were the goofy team. They were the team that was the butt of everybody's jokes. They were the team that you put a dub on a schedule when they show up. And, throughout the years with Drew Brees and Sean Payton were with the team, it changed the way that people looked at this team. Some of you probably aren't accustomed to where the Saints are right now. You probably heard some of your uncles, your aunts, your grandma, your grandpa talk about it. But from your perspective and from your knowledge, you don't remember the Saints being in the state that they are right now. But I can think of the times when the Saints were even worse. And people used to just make fun of the Saints each and every week. Like they would be on primetime only for the mainstream reporters to make fun of them. And now you look at the New Orleans Saints not being an interesting football team, no Sean Payton, no Drew Brees, no offensive innovation, no chance at a playoff, not a chance at a Super Bowl. Nobody's going to want to talk about them. Some teams get the benefit of the doubt. The Dallas Cowboys of the world, the Pittsburgh Steelers of the world, the Philadelphia Eagles, they won a Super Bowl, but even when they weren't in that, in that stratosphere, they still got the benefit of the doubt because they are a major market team. And by talking about them, it is going to bring in a huge sum of people. With the Saints, they're an acquired taste. It's rather you grew up in Louisiana, grew up in a Gulf Coast area, and maybe a family member loved the New Orleans Saints, and that love radiated off of them to you. It wasn't like you found the Saints on mainstream. Shouts out to everybody in the UK and all across the world that reach out to me and talk to me about their experience. But the reality is nobody was checking for the Saints then. And right now, the Saints are making sure that they're not checking for them now. I don't feel like the Saints deserve a primetime game. I don't. I don't feel like they deserve a primetime game. And if anybody feels differently, like I said, I would love to hear from you, but that's just my perspective because this isn't Apollo Kids that we're talking about here. Like, at Showtime at the Apollo back in the day, they used to have this portion of the show called Apollo Kids, and they'll have these kids go out there and they'll perform, and they wouldn't pick no winners or no losers or nothing like that. They wouldn't bring out Kiki Shepard to put the hand over the head. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't nothing like that. It was with kids, singing songs and doing their little talents, and then like give them a round of applause, and then they go to a commercial break. Like it doesn't work like that, right? You got to go out there and put in that work, right? You got to go out there and put in that work. And the New Orleans Saints have not put in any work, and they have nobody to blame but the front office. Yes, I just said this. The front office is responsible for the downfall of this football team. Now, do I take pleasure in saying this? No, but we have to be real at why the New Orleans Saints are in the state that they're in. It's because of bad decisions and decisions not working out. So if you want to change the narrative, you want some more primetime games, well, you got to force the issue. Nobody wanted to see the Saints in the building last time. Nobody expected for the Saints to be in the building. Nobody expected a 6 foot tall, 209-pound quarterback to be one of the best quarterbacks of his generation and change the way that people look at New Orleans Saints football. The Saints forced that issue. So I'm sorry. I'm afraid that it's probably going to have to happen again in order for the Saints to get that credibility, to get that cachet that they built up throughout 16 years of consistent play, not always the playoffs, but always was in contention for something. Until they get back to that, then they don't deserve to be on primetime. How do you get back on primetime? Once again, by winning, by going out here, putting a consistent product out there that people can enjoy. And, you're putting up some numbers in the process. So that's the way I feel about it. I'm going to go ahead and read some of your comments, and then I'll open up the phone lines. If anybody got anything to say about the schedule, feel free to chime in. Jerry, I was before you for the first time. Jerry said he was at a spring revival, I believe. Says I was spending family time with my dad and my brother. Look, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Like I said, normally I don't do shows on Friday. I normally do the same thing. Probably wouldn't even be having a show right now if I would have had opportunity to do one on yesterday, a live stream. So I can completely understand, man. I mean, Friday is that day. You know, everybody kind of, want to chill, maybe go out, maybe have some drinks at home. You know what I'm saying? Maybe go out, play some games with friends. I get that, right? So I completely understand that. I'll be doing the same thing. But we'll be watching, but I'm kind of glad no primetime games. Yeah, I mean, look, they can fly under the radar. In this case, there is no radar. Look, I just think that it's probably best, because if they do get primetime games, that means they would have earned those primetime games. Let's see, the three teams who don't have primetime games are the three teams who drafted a quarterback that will start. Who wouldn't want to watch that? A lot of people, man. Like I'm serious, man. But these are teams that are kind of like a small market. There were Tennessee Titans, Cleveland. Hey, come on, man. These teams aren't really known for nothing. Like Cleveland back in the day. When Jim Brown was up in there, Bernie Kosar. You know what I'm saying? A little sprinkle of Baker Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? Taking them to the playoff, but man, them boys ain't did nothing in years. And you look at the Tennessee Titans. I mean, what you got? What's their coach name? Brian Callahan. And I mean, they got rid of Mike Vrabel. Now they picking first overall. I mean, that's not looking good for him. And you can say Cam Ward, but this kind of coincides with them saying, I'm talking about the major sports media saying that this wasn't an interesting quarterback draft class. But it is kind of crazy though, because I really feel like this. If the Cleveland Browns would have drafted Shedeur Sanders in the first round, and it would have been more than likely he would have been a starter, they would have gave them some primetime games. I believe that wholeheartedly. They would have found a way to put Shedeur Sanders on primetime. I mean, when I look at Cam Ward, I think he's just as exciting as any of these young quarterbacks coming out. But I just think that he doesn't really move the needle in some people's eyes. So fair or unfair, they didn't do anything. So that's the reason why. I mean, you could talk about the storylines, but it's not intriguing enough in order for people to watch like that. Like, people can always watch the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, look, you can say you can't stand the Dallas Cowboys. Many of us can't. But people are going to watch them for two reasons. Rather, they're a diehard Cowboy fan, or they want to see the Cowboys get embarrassed on national television. Let's see. They have put the Sandman on us. They put us to sleep. Yeah, man, the Saints are a boring franchise right now, man. I mean, but I will say this. I mean, I was looking at the schedule release video that is going viral. And, I have to say, man, I was very happy to see that video. Not because, I just thought that it was like completely, utterly hilarious, which it was. Shouts out to Ross Jackson, who basically just stole the show. And Ross said, if you're watching this right now, yes, that picture of you rubbing your bald head will soon be on my back wall. So, but it's in all love, man. It's all love. But, it just shows you that, man, some excitement is coming back to the city. Like for Kellen Moore to even be a part of that, like in any way, like that just shows you right there, like he's willing to like poke fun and crack jokes. And, I just feel like, the Saints organization over the last couple of years been kind of stale, like stagnant. Like Dennis Allen, like, it like became like the no fun league for real inside the Saints facility. Like all of the things that made the Saints cool. Y'all know, like the smoke show, the music in the background, you know what I'm saying, after wins, and the strobe lights and all that kind of stuff, man. Them boys turning up on the field, posing for the camera, putting the shiesties on, like all these different things that we have fell in love with when it comes to our favorite team. It seemed like it just been completely like just wiped out because of the charisma vacuum that was Dennis Allen. I'm sorry. Dennis Allen can coach the hell out of some defense, but charisma he had none. All right. Man had absolutely no charisma whatsoever. All right. Had about as much charisma as a bucket of water. So hopefully, they can bring back, some of that excitement. Kellen Moore being as young as he is, bring back some energy. Lord knows they need it. And, they can get back to that. I think that everybody kind of expect for the Saints not to really do too much this season. But if they can make it exciting or make fans like want to root for this team or feel like this team is trending in the right direction, I mean, people are ready to jump on that. But right now, it's a snooze fest, man. Like I said, it's like golf on the 7th hole. You know what I'm saying? You just sitting there watching on TV, might doze off a little bit. Like wake me up when Rory McIlroy or Tiger Woods putting or something. I don't know. Let's see, TJ, it got to be some teeny boppers making these TV schedules, though, because if you're a real fan, Atlanta versus New Orleans is almost always must-see TV at least once a season. Yeah, I mean, that is true, but at the same time, those teams aren't major market teams, and neither one of those teams have made the play. Like, we got to be honest about this, man. They're a small market team who basically have to jock for a position, right? That's just the way that it is. It's like, man, it's like I'll use this as an example. It's like a boxer who is just fundamentally sound, really good. You'll put him on TV and, I'm saying, it'll be a good fight, but he ain't drawing a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? He like, okay, we gonna have you out here. He's like the second to the last fight. And he goes out there and he performs well and he looks good and everybody like, man, that dude can really fight. Then all of a sudden, like the fight everybody want to see is the dude that talked a lot, that running him out, because I want to see him get knocked out. Like it's that simple. Like the Saints are, like the Saints and the Falcons rivalry is a popular rivalry, but at the same time, these are two small market teams. The Falcons haven't made the playoffs in 7 seasons. The Saints haven't made it in 4 seasons. And, the only thing they got going for them is the fact that they don't like each other. Well, if that's the case, I mean, Cincinnati and the Browns, they got a pretty good rivalry too. Ask some people out there in Ohio. Some of these other teams, that they struggle to find something. Like Jets and the Dolphins, throughout the years. Like, shoot, ain't nobody, like, they were trash. But talk to a Jets fan about a Dolphin fan. They ready to cuss you out talking about the Dolphins. Like that's the reality. But ain't nobody checking for it like that. Because these teams aren't the most popular team and most polarizing teams. They polarizing to us. It's exciting to us because we have an emotional investment in those teams. But they would never, like the Saints would have to like go on this crazy run. I want to make this very, very simple and plain for y'all. There has not been a more dominant team in the last 25 years than the New England Patriots. And the New England Patriots over the last few years have been on down years. I still feel like, okay, if you dominated that long, shouldn't you have some more primetime games? Like, shouldn't you still be looked at as one of those teams like the Dallas Cowboys or something like that? Why is that? Because although they were winning because they had an individual there on top. I don't care what it is. Like if Dallas, if something, and I'm not on wood because I don't want nothing to happen to dude. If something was to happen to Jerry Jones, the Cowboys will still be on TV. They'll still be on TV. But you know what they find exciting? When the Cowboys are down by 2 or 3 touchdowns, them panning up into that luxury box to see the expression on Jerry Jones's face. It's cinema, folks. It's all about ratings. It is entertainment. It's football, but it's entertainment. And you got to ask yourself, like, are the Saints entertaining? Like to be real, for the last 4 years, can you really say that the Saints truly have been entertaining? They have not been. And I mean, we got to be fair about this. It's an exciting rivalry, inevitable. I agree with you on that. Like, when the Saints play the Falcons, it generates excitement. But I don't think it generates the same level of excitement as it does, when we're talking Saints and Falcon fans. Like, that's That's the Super Bowl. Like, you don't have to win another game. If you beat the Falcons, if you're a Saints fan, cool. If you're a Falcon fan, they beat the Saints, cool. Like, I'm good. I can sleep good at night knowing that I beat the Saints or I beat the Falcons. The Trader Playbook, thank you very much for 499, says, I hate to beat a dead horse here, but I guarantee Draft and Shadeur would have not only sold jerseys, but we would most definitely get on prime time. I agree with that. It's all about storylines at the end of the day, man. Inevitable. I'm gonna tell you this, man. And look, I'm not just speaking like hyperbole. I'm speaking from a perspective of some like talking with people that are television reps for these sports networks. Like, seriously, like I've been blessed and privileged enough to be in places and being able to talk to some of these executives and know how their mind works. Know how their mind works when it comes to television. They talk about it all the time. They say, we don't care about, we don't care about the matchups. We care about the storylines. If you look at the primetime games, that are going to be played on Sunday, if you notice, they always have a storyline leading up to that game. Like, rather it's like a player going back to his old team, rather it's a coach that, got fired by another team and now he's coming back seeking revenge. A player that got cut end up being everything and more for another team. It's always a storyline because at the end of the day, folks, it's all about entertainment. So, selling somebody on the possibility of Tyler Shuck, who a lot of people just found out who the heck he was maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, that's not really moving the needle. And, you can throw some Bijan Robinson and some Alvin Kamara up in there or something, but that's not going to get people to sit on their couch to watch, I mean, it's just, that's just reality, man. People care about the storylines more so than the actual games. Well, the executives do. I don't want to say the fans do, but the executives, they care about that almighty dollar, bro. They care about these reps. They care about these ads, like being seen by the masses. All right, that's what they care about. they don't care about how much the Saints hate the Falcons. Okay, can the Saints hate the Falcons enough in order for people to know that this new shirt can be clean as a whistle with this new Tide Pod that we just put out? Like that's what these people care about. Like, shoot, are you gonna be upset and mad, so mad that you're gonna dip our brand new tortilla chip inside that queso of yours? That's what they care about, man. They don't care. They don't care about, how much Saints fans hate the Falcons. They just don't. Let's go ahead and go to Keen Arthur. Keen Arthur, how you doing?
Whoa, nah, what's up, big?
Man, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Cooling, bro. Just about getting ready for busy season for the company,
Yeah, man, I hear you, man. What you got coming up, man?
Man, we just locked down a contract with Newton County Schools and Atlanta Public Schools, bro. So
okay,
they like what we doing over here at Fix Interactive Art Events. Unique games, man. We all got a big kid in us, and it works for the regular kids too.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. Being able to, do things like that. But hey, hold on real quick. Hey, man, this you can go ahead and tell me what you have to say. I got to plug into my my laptop, man. But I'm listening. What you got for us, man?
Here's the thing. We got to be real with ourselves, Who That Nation. We haven't done nothing in recent years to be thinking that we deserve primetime nothing. Period, point blank. You hear me? And I'm one of the biggest Saints fans out there.
Right.
But I gotta be unbiased though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta be objective too. Like, what have we done in recent years to be on anybody's primetime TV? Right. Can we honestly answer that?
Not much, man. And like I said, if you just, I think a lot of times when it comes to Saints fans, and I do it too, man. I mean, growing up as a kid, I mean, I love this football team, but I think sometimes we think from an emotional perspective and we try to find ways to get our team into the room. But if we're thinking like realistically, like logically, team don't deserve to be in like on primetime television. They just don't. Like, think about this. If you like, I want people to think about this. If you were a fan of another NFL team, take your pick. Would you be willing to want to watch a Saints game? If they were like Saints coming on Sunday night, would you want to watch that? Like, like seriously, there are games where like I love like Keno. I think you can relate to this. You like watching football, like just football. Like you like the Saints, but you like watching football too.
Yeah.
You want to see like if Kansas City playing Cincinnati or something, I'm down. You know what I'm saying? Like even like the Giants or something like that playing like. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I might get down with that too. Like I want to see some
good football game.
Exactly. If the Jaguars playing or something, you know what I'm saying? Like they're playing against, I don't know, some team that is out there struggling. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. So I'm just being realistic, man. Like you wouldn't want to just sit up here and watch no Saints if you weren't no fan of the Saints. Like we trying to talk them into the building because we got emotional investment in them.
Mm-hmm. So I ain't got no problem with nobody riding for our team, bro. And you know, pounding the table wanting us to get on prime time, bro. But at some point we got to be real. Like what do we have outside of scandal or incompetence or anything like that that will be noteworthy enough to be on primetime TV?
Good
what
question.
do we have?
Good question. I can't tell you.
We probably be on TV more for the city and the culture right now, more than the Saints.
Yep. I mean, there's so many other things going on, that are not promising. Like the most promising thing that Saints fans have gotten is the drafting of Tyler Shuck. Like that's something that is significant because they haven't drafted a quarterback this high since Archie Manning. But other than that, it's like what other things do this team have going on that you're like, man, I can't wait this season to start so I can see what see what you don't even you can't even come up with a compelling outside of maybe Tyler Shuck and seeing if he can be a franchise quarterback. What other hat can you say hang on the rack? Like I don't know. So
you know what, TJ? I gotta say something, Brian. And this might be unpopular, but I think you'll feel where I'm coming from. This could be a blessing in disguise, bro. Because when you feel slighted by somebody, dog, or feel like you deserving of more attention than you getting, that could put a chip on y'all shoulders. So you like to say no cool motors. You hear me? Use this to rev your motor. Okay, they ain't putting us on prime time. They don't think we nothing. Bet. Let's go out here and tell the league. You got one of the easiest schedules. I think it's the second easiest, right?
Right.
You got the second easiest schedule in the league. Go out there and light it up. Go get you 11 games. Now they don't have a choice but to put you on TV.
Yep. And they're going to flex you. They're going to flex it more than likely because you're going to be playing games at the end of the season that are significant, like that means something. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like this society that we live in, we feel like everybody got to get in the building. Like I'm not down with that, man. Because if everybody get in the building, if everybody was to get in the building, King Arthur, like where would the hard work come from? Like if I know I can just do the bare minimum and I know I can still get into the building, like what's the point of being in a building? Right? You got to earn your keep, bro. Like you appreciate being in the building because you work your ass off to get in that building. So I'm just saying, like, if you want you shouldn't even want the New Orleans Saints. Somebody said in the chat, the team going out sad. I feel like the team will be going out sad if we just sitting up here just getting, like I said, a Apollo Kid treatment. Well, you know what I'm saying? We just getting that clap because we sung a song or did a dance. Nah, man, let them earn their keep. And I would appreciate it even more.
Right. And you know, there's a saying, TJ, if everybody was special, then nobody would be.
Yep.
So if everybody in the building, if you letting everybody jumping off the porch, then is the porch any more valuable than anything else?
No.
Nope. ain't nobody special now. So if you feel some type of way, go out there and prove it on the field. Ain't no more entitlement, bro. Go prove it on the field and show them why they should have gave you a primetime game.
Yep.
If you ain't gonna do that, man, move over, dog.
Yep, I agree. I agree. It goes back to what you were saying before. You know, this might be a blessing in disguise. It makes you fly under the radar,
Right.
and you know, and there's not this pressure that's on you to be able to go out there and perform. You know, like I mean, you still got that pressure, but it's not like just that consistent pressure that you probably would experience being the Chiefs, being the Bills. You know, like people expect for these teams to be in playoff contention, championship contention every single year because of the quarterback, coach, and circumstance. You're not like that. Like, so take advantage of this opportunity, get 1% better every single day, on top of like getting better every single week. And, you know, we can have a different conversation, but you got to earn that, man. And the Saints haven't earned that at least over the last 4 to 5 years. So it's been very disappointing. And I don't think a Saints fan should just want them to just have a primetime game for the simple fact to have a primetime game. Like, earn it.
Well, I'm gonna say this, TJ, and I'm gonna let you go. You I know you got the calls. This right here, to me, this is my opinion, is gonna show us who the dogs is on this team.
Right.
Are you gonna roll over and just, oh, nobody expect nothing of me, so I'm gonna just coast?
Right.
Peyton Turner. um, is that what you about to do? Are you gonna phone it in, or are you gonna get pissed off? Excuse my French, TJ. I know we
Nah, it's
keep it
good. It's
clean
all
in the
good,
chat
man.
around here. But are you gonna get to a point where you got such a dog mentality that you got something to prove now?
Right.
We about to something is about to get exposed.
Yep.
Is
What?
is, is it either gonna be is it exposing that we got dogs, or is it exposing that we got puppies out here?
Yep.
One or the
Yeah.
other about to happen.
Yeah. I look, I agree. We gonna find some more things out. I would say more things because look, man, we finding out some bad things about this team. Not so much about stuff you were alluding to at the beginning of the you know, of the call where you're talking about like some of the scandals and stuff, but I'm just talking about like levels of incompetence, man. Like I'm really like genuinely concerned about the future of this franchise. Like they've done some really good things this offseason. I ain't gonna lie. Like looking at it, like from like just sitting back and looking at it, they're making some the right moves. But the question is, can those moves be consistent? And because they haven't been, you know, and you also just start to feel like when Sean Payton left and when Drew Brees left, man, that's when consistency and competency left off. So I just hope that they can get this thing right so we can get some better football. You know, it ain't got to be like this season. I'm just looking for them to be better in some aspects than they were last season. I'll take that. But if you just go out there and just wet the bed and look like trash, I just think that it's just time for a complete overhaul for the front office. And I think that fans are really going to get to that point because they're going to feel like as long as Mickey Loomis is in a building and they have this structure that they have the way that it is, the Saints aren't going to go anywhere. So I just hope that they adjust accordingly. If I don't see anything that's promising or something that we can actually build on.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna go. The word rebuild is not synonymous with just losing.
Yep.
That's what we got to get away from. Y'all better look at the Texans. Y'all better look at Washington. Just because you're rebuilding, it doesn't mean that it's an automatic loss each week.
Yep.
All it means is that you putting together the pieces and you putting people in place to become more than what you were the previous year. That's all a rebuild means.
Yep.
It don't mean that there's an expectation for you to roll over every week. I don't know where people get that from. Oh, tank for Archie Manning, man. Sit down somewhere.
Man.
What type of loser talk is that, man? Sit down.
Man, I still don't understand they ain't gonna take it for Arch Manning. I just don't. I gotta see Arch Manning play an entire season at the University of Texas. Not just him coming out and mop up duty for Quinn Ewers. Like I gotta see it. Like, man, and it just also speaks to the hypocrisy of some of these folks, man. How they were just so quick to talk about Shadur Sanders wasn't it, but they just showed that Arch Manning just gonna be the second coming of Peyton. Like,
right.
Like this hypocrisy, man, like of the highest order. Like they'll say Shadur Sanders, like he only getting what he got because his name on the back of his jersey. Well, how do you think that Arch Manning is just a number one overall pick? Because his last name just so happened to be Manning. He ain't play enough in order for you to feel that way. So I don't know, man.
Like you said, don't narratives drive ratings.
Yep.
There it is.
Absolutely. Hey man, but Keen Arthur, I appreciate it, man. It's always a pleasure to speak with you, man. And Good luck to all the projects that you have going on, man, and keep us posted on it.
Appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna get you to one of these events, whether you
Yeah,
like it or
man.
not.
Look, man, I'm gonna have to. Look, my cousin stays out in Georgia, and man, I'm trying to get out that way more often, man. I was talking to him a couple of days ago, man. So definitely gonna be trying to get out there more often. And when I do, man, I'll make sure I hit you up.
All right, big dog. Who that?
All right, who that? Yeah, man, I got to get out there to Georgia, man. I mean, I don't know if y'all follow King Arthur on social media, man, but he always has like these cool games, man. You know, and that's the new wave right now, man. We seeing like all these different like dating shows and people like coming up with all these different these brand new games and how to play them and stuff, man. I mean, he has some really good projects that he works on, man. So y'all make sure that y'all check him out. A lot of good things going on over there. Before I get to cool sports, I'm gonna go ahead and read some of these comments because I don't see any other people in on the phone lines. He'll be the next one. Says Tampa is the best example. They had to rebuild after Brady, and they just did it smart and still on top of the division. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's about making smart decisions. The problem is when you're rebuilding, you got to make smart decisions. And you got to hit. Like, I'm pretty sure the Commanders probably thought that they had like a little rebuilding process, but Jaden Daniels pretty much expedite that by him coming in playing outstanding, otherworldly, if you will. So sometimes like you can catch lightning in a bottle, and it can speed up the process. But if New Orleans Saints draft Tyler Shuck and Tyler Shuck is, steady Eddie, like, I don't know if he'll be a playoff quarterback, or I hope one day he is. I don't know if he's going to be like that quarterback that's going to be winning a bunch of championships. That's better. But if he can provide some stability, I think people will be okay with that. Like everybody is not going to be Mahomes or Joe Burrow or Josh Allen, right? Winning because of that person. But if that person can provide stability at the quarterback position, and you can surround him with some good players in the process, you can win. You can win. Long as that quarterback can make plays when plays need to be made. TJ, I've been getting bad mouth all summer, and it ain't even summer time, but it's hot outside. I need this train to get the moving, not rushing. But hey, I'm rushing. Look, I get it, man. Like you want you want that success, man. You want that instant the instant credibility. You want that success that we felt before. I get it. But I mean, it's just gonna take some time, in my opinion. I tried buying NFL Game Pass last year, but it didn't play every out of market game. Any other way, anyone knows how I can watch all the Saints games. I mean, they have like different streams and stuff like that you can use. I know I know a lot of people use like I think called Met streams, crack streams, something like that, like a couple of those that people use to be able to get access to some of those out of market games. Let's see. I'm just happy I got my ticket to go to the Saints versus Rams week 8. Yeah, man. I want to try to go to a West Coast game, man. I'm gonna try to go to a West Coast game. This year, man. It's kind of hard to like kind of move around, especially like when it's just me, my wife, and my son, and we rely on one another, to do and be where we need to be in order for our son to go to school and be able to do the things he needs to do. So it's just kind of hard for me to travel, like that. But I do want to go to one of those games, man. Let's see. I really feel like we gonna have I guess you mean strong season. I know you mean string season. I guess you mean strong season. Look, I mean, that's the optimism that you want, right? That's the optimism that you want. You want them to have a strong season. I hope that they do. I hope you're right. I hope you're right about them having a strong season. Yeah, TJ, I've been getting ish talk too all year. We need this thing to come on. Yeah, I mean, look, gotta happen. Gotta happen, man. But hey, it just comes with it, man. Like we used to talk so much trash to these other teams when the Saints were winning. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Ain't that what they say? All right, we're gonna go to cool sports. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, TJ?
Man, nothing much, man. Appreciate you for chiming in, man. What you got for us?
Man, I saw the show you did the other day.
Uh-huh.
They had a comment on there that was saying, I know you predicted us to go 5-12,
Uh-huh.
and I saw one of the people made a comment saying you had Kellen Moore getting fired. And I'm like,
Hmm.
man, that don't mean you got Kellen Moore getting fired just because you got us going 5-12. You being realistic.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Shouts
Like,
out to
no,
Brandon, man. That's the one that made that comment. But yeah, I mean,
okay.
but nobody expected for Kellen Moore to come in to do anything this season anyway. I'm looking at it like if Kellen Moore comes in and the Saints exceed expectations, I think that we pretty much got our question answered when it comes to him being the future coach of this team and leading this team anywhere, because I don't think the team will ever be as down as they are right now. Like, unless they do something just absolutely terrible. But it just seemed like throughout the next couple of years, Cool Sports, your salary cap getting better. As long as you don't go out here making those stupid decisions like getting rid of your first round draft picks, you should be in some good prime position to turn this thing around. So if he can get this thing going and they can win 7, 8 games, I think everybody should start buying into what Kellen Moore is selling.
I agree with that. I'm thinking you got to give him at least 3 years, man.
Yeah.
Unless like you said, it's just like a complete catastrophe or something like that. Like you remember Urban Meyer, like how bad he was.
Oh, terrible.
Unless it's something like that,
Mm-hmm.
then you gotta just as long as you see him, the team fight, put up, being competitive, like you said, making progress. And to me, that's what you're looking for, man. Or exceed expectations. Like
Mm-hmm.
Payton first season, we made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if that happens, then definitely we found the right guy. But you can't. You got to. I think people got to. Of course, we Saints fans, so we want to win every game. But we
Right.
got to temper our expectations and realize we don't. Our team is not that great. I'm saying not that good.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Look.
but
Yeah.
a ma-
Now go
a
ahead.
matter of fact, I got us winning 8. I had picked. I said 8-9.
Okay.
That
That-
was my prediction. But and the way I came about it was I considered the fact that last year we had bad luck with injuries.
right.
So I'm hoping this year we'll have a lot better luck with injuries
Mm-hmm.
and not have as many guys getting hurt. So that'll make us more competitive in games, in my opinion,
Right.
if we can stay healthy and not have
Yeah.
our whole team be hurt, basically.
Yeah.
But I gave us a split in the division games, so that gave us 3 wins because I had a split in the division games. Of course, those could go either way. We don't have no world beaters in our division,
Right.
but and then what I did was out of the rest of the games that they had left, I looked at games that I thought we had at least a 50-50 chance of winning.
Right.
And those teams that I picked was the Jets, the Patriots, the Titans, the Cardinals, and did I say the Giants? I think the Giants.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
those are the 5 games. I say, man, we probably got a chance to win, at least a chance to win those games. But
Mhm. Yeah. I
hey,
mean, look, if we being honest, I mean, they got a chance to win every game. Look, man, any team can beat any other team on any given Sunday. I don't care what the record is. I don't care what it is. I mean, we've seen teams like, playoff caliber teams roll into town and face lowly teams, and those lowly teams just go out there playing inspired football and win. So they have everybody's talented. Like we can make it seem like this isn't like, Ohio State going up against Wichita State or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, it is
right,
not like
right,
that where you got a bunch of NIL guys on the team, 5 stars, and Wichita just got a couple guys that probably got from JUCO that, you know what I'm saying, just want to have a little bit of a step up. It's
right,
not like that. Like,
right,
all these guys are fast. All these guys are strong. All these dudes come from different power conference schools, more so than not. And collectively they come together and make a team. So it's not like, it's not out of realm of possibility. I think that I'm looking at the inexperienced quarterbacks in the room. I'm looking at the question marks surrounding Kellen Moore as a head coach. I'm not saying he can't coach. I don't know. And also, you just got to take into account what has been going on. Until trends start to change, like you have no choice but to kind of believe what the trends are. Right? I mean, so that's what I'm basing it on. Like, and I said this. We have the preseason, we got training camp, we got all these different things going on. If certain things can happen, and my record may change by the beginning of the season based on what I've seen. But right now, like looking at it, like this is like opening up a new copy of Madden and going to franchise mode and simulating the cool sports. That's what it's like. Like you don't know who's gonna make the Super Bowl, who's gonna make the playoff. You don't know. And
a lot of variables.
Yeah. And most of the time it's based on what? Analytics. The ratings of those players combined going up against the other teams, right? So I'm kind of doing it the same exact way.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And then like it's kind of funny what you said about any team can beat any team on any given Sunday. Because I remember when we had Peyton and Breeze, and I'm like, some of them games that we lost. Like I remember one time we lost to the Browns. I'm like, man, how we lose? Yep. How we lose to the Browns, man? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So so you're right about that. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll find out how it goes.
Yeah, we'll find out, man. We'll find out and see. Of course, you know, like I said, they got to play in between those lines, and you know, if the Saints can actually exceed expectations, I think that Saints fans will be excited, not only for this season but the future. You got anything else, Cool Sports?
Oh, the last thing was I agree with you and King Arthur about us not deserving a primetime game. We hadn't made the playoffs in 4 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If we not, like you say, we're not an exciting team. We don't have it just we kind of a vanilla team, so you can't expect to be on primetime if that's the case, you know what I'm saying? But
right. I mean, like I said, it's about proving that you belong. And if you don't prove that you belong, then people aren't going to give you anything. Like, and honestly, like I said, I can respect that. Like, I'm serious, man. Like, I feel like the world, greatness is too accessible to certain people. Like, we so quick to name people GOATs, and we so quick to like give people like credit that they haven't even earned. So I don't know, man. Like, I'm not in that. Like, I don't care how much I love something. I still want that something to prove that it cares about me to prove that I care about it, or it to do something, you know what I'm saying, in order to move me or move the foundation or whatever it stands for. Like, I want it to happen, right? In order for me to kind of buy in to what's happening. Like that's just the way that it goes, man. So I look, I ain't got no problem with it. I grew up believing that if you got a problem with something, like show that power that you have within yourself to change it. So if they got a problem with it, go out there, win some football games,
win some games,
whoop some feet, you feel me, and go out there and win some of these games that you shouldn't win, and people gonna start giving you a respect because they ain't gonna have no choice.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's how it's done.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate it, Cool Sports, man. It's always a pleasure to chop it up with you, man. And call back anytime, man. Love hearing from you.
All right, take it easy, man.
All right, you too. Yeah, shouts out to Cool Sports, man. Love to hear from my brother there. But yeah, man, like you gotta prove it, man. Like I don't care how much I love something, man. I'm not trying to just give something away. I don't want to try to like make things easy for anybody. I don't want anybody to make it easy for me. Like imagine, like think about this. Like if you had the honor or the pleasure of like when you were a kid and you were playing basketball, right? And let's just say you're small, like around, you know what I'm saying, like my son's age, 4 or 5 years old. And I used to like I would take my son, we'd be out in the backyard playing basketball, and I would let him hold the ball. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I would pick him up, put it close to the hoop so he can drop the ball in. And he'll put that little smile on his face. But I think about it now when he takes those little two hands and he throws that ball up into the hoop and he makes it himself. He has more pride in that than me picking him up and dropping it in a hoop. Why? Because he had to earn the ability to be able to make that shot from that distance that he did, not looking at me to pick him up. Like you take more pride in that when you know that you worked hard for something, like rather it's a job promotion, rather it's starting your own business, rather it's like trying to, go on that date with that girl or that guy. like you get that, like you have an appreciation for it. But if it just kind of just came easy for you, like you like, how much would you appreciate it? You'll probably value it, but would you value it more than it would if you remember the blood, sweat, and tears it took in order for you to get to that point? That's all I'm saying, folks. Like, let's not make everything like a lifetime achievement award. Like, oh, the Saints have won so many games throughout the years. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't even, like, me personally, I don't even understand, like, why the Dallas Cowboys on TV like that. Like, they ain't win nothing. Cowboys ain't been in a Super Bowl, what, 30 years? 30 years, man. Like, I feel like, you know, what have they earned? You know, they don't deserve to be on TV. If it wasn't for Jerry Jones scowling down at the luxury box, you know, or they still talking about Roger Staubach and Dandy Dine Merritt and whatnot. You know, like, come on, man. Come on. Like, earn it. Earn it, man. Fact, same with my music, TJ. When I make it, I'ma really appreciate it because I work hard for it and it didn't come easy. Yeah. Man, it's like starting this damn podcast. Like, I'm serious, man. Well, look, right now, I got 209 people watching this right now. Some people say, oh, man, that ain't much, like, for a major, like, platform, I mean, streamer or something. But for me, like, starting out, like, man, I'm telling you, I started out in a freaking apartment closet on an iPhone 10. I couldn't even afford a webcam. Some of y'all heard me tell this story all the time. I tell this story to let people know it ain't about how you start, right? It's about consistency and working. But I take pride in knowing how hard I work, right? If somebody would have just gave me everything and like I ain't really work for it, like I probably wouldn't appreciate it. So I appreciate being able to open up the phone lines, knowing people, you know what I'm saying, have something to say. People coming, you know what I'm saying, telling me how much they appreciate the show. You know, individuals that I met over the course of time because I work for that. Going, you know what I'm saying, going to the combine, going to the Senior Bowl. Man, that was wishful thinking. Me like stepping foot in Indianapolis and walking past people that you meet see every single day on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like walking in the lobby, like sitting next to Frank Gore, just seeing them randomly in a hotel lobby. Like that's insane. Right? And all that started from there. But like I said, you got to have an appreciation. I never take that for granted. That's why I tell everybody that watches my podcast, thank you. Thank you. Like seriously, thank you for like believing in me because you didn't have to. But also, you know, like I said, you have to be consistent, and it makes the grind even more precious. But if people start just giving you stuff just because you there, like, nah, don't give me anything. Like, if I ain't earn it, I ain't earn it. But at the same time, if I earned it, I want it. But if I didn't earn it, like, don't give it to me. Facts, TJ. They were marketing Jordan as the GOAT before he accomplished anything at all. Yeah, I mean, look, Michael Jordan, back in the day, a lot of people don't even realize that, you know, Michael Jordan, when he first came out of the University of North Carolina, I mean, everybody, you know, they were trying to like hype him up and stuff like that. But I will say this. Marketing saved the NBA. In some cases, marketing saved the NFL. By the NBA, by marketing Larry Bird on the East Coast and Magic Johnson on the West Coast, it kind of saved the NBA because it basically tapped into people's insecurities, racial tendencies, like, to be honest with you, and all these different emotions that they have when it comes to Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. And they will play these guys games on television and people will make a choice. And then, you know, Larry Bird was known as the great white hope, and Magic Johnson came in with the style and finesse and all that kind of stuff. So they had Larry Bird representing the traditional way of basketball, you know, and then you had Magic Johnson flipping the ball behind his back and doing these no-look passes. Oh, he muddying up the game. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, it was a storyline. It goes back to what I said at the beginning of the show. It's about storylines. How intriguing is your storyline? Will people invest in that storyline? Where my wrestling fans at? Wrestling fans know storylines we watch every single week. Every single week we watch these storylines. We invest in these wrestlers. You know, these like that's what gets us like involved and wanting us and makes us care about these things. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's about ratings. It's about ratings. It ain't about who's the best at times, man. Like, because if we being honest, it is absolutely insane to like sit up here and just blame one particular person for a team losing a football game every single week. Like, football is the one of the biggest team sports that you ever gonna see. Like your quarterback can play flawless, and you know this. Your quarterback can play flawless all game, and a kicker can miss a field goal, and you still lose that game. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like in basketball, a guy can go off for 61, and he can be the main reason why his team win. Keep passing him the ball, he hot. But in football, yeah, the quarterback can throw for 350 yards, but if you don't have the ball last and the game is tied, the other team can go down there, kick a field goal, and win. It's a team sport. So I go back to saying this is like that storyline of like, oh, can he win the big one? Oh, can he go out there and really perform well? He can perform well, but the next week, oh, you know, he lose a game. Oh, he still can't win the big one. Threw for 330 yards and 4 touchdowns and still can't win the big one. It's about storylines, folks. Yeah, because Jade Cargill is fine. Well, that wouldn't be considered a storyline. That would be considered a character. But, you know, Stone Cold versus Taker was a good storyline. Yeah, I mean, look, there's been great storylines throughout the course of time. And there's been great storylines that have created buzz for some of these NFL games. And, yeah, like I said, when it comes to the Saints, they just, hey, man. You know, you got to be able to be interesting. And right now, the Saints aren't interesting. But speaking of interesting, there was an article that came out. Well, not an article, but there's been talk on social media. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull this up. There's been talk about wide receiver Chris Olave possibly being traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay. And from, you know, I'm trying to see if I can actually pull this up. Because it's been talked. It's been talked about this, man, about Chris Olave possibly going to the Steelers. All right. So let's go to this. And it's been a lot of different sites saying that the Steelers have inquired about Chris Olave's availability. However, the Saints don't seem interested in trading him. All right. So, and you had like one individual. I'm trying to see who the main individual was. I think it's Andrew Filippiani. I think that's what his name is. Filippiani. The Steelers are working on a trade for Saints wide receiver Chris Olave per Adam Crawley. So this has really been making this buzz. People, of course, you know, kind of debunking this individual. I'm gonna say this. I don't know, man. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. All right. I talked to somebody that played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, all right? You know what I'm saying? Somebody within that office. And from what I was just told, they said that it was legit. Not that he's being traded, but the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers inquired about Chris Olave, right? I ain't hear nothing about him getting traded to the Steelers, but it's saying that the Steelers indeed tried to inquire about Chris Olave. That's what I heard, all right? It was told to me at about, let's see, about 6:46 p.m. Eastern time, right? That was told to me. All right, so I don't know, like I don't know if he's going to get traded. It don't seem like it'll be a shock to me if he did. But the Pittsburgh Steelers did inquire about Chris Olave. All right, I mean that. I ain't about to go out on no limb and say they're gonna trade. They're gonna make a trade for Chris Olave. You know what I'm saying? Like the Saints gonna trade Chris Olave to the Steelers, but yes, the Steelers did try and inquire about Chris Olave. So that I you know, based on my source, yeah, they did reach out. But I don't I'll be shocked if he ends up getting traded though. I'll be shocked. But you never know. You never know. Like It depends on if a team actually, wants that player, how bad they want him, and what they're willing to give up for him. You already got DK Metcalf. You get rid of George Pickens. You bring in Chris Olave. Got yourself a good 1-2 punch right there. Saints, y'all been doing well. Don't tick the whole Saints nation off. Yeah, I don't look. I think it's no difference between like, okay, man, that's a nice car you got there. Would you be willing to sell that car to me? Nah, man, not really, man. I like my car. Okay. I inquired about it, right? So when somebody say inquired, don't mean like, oh, it's going to happen. That means that they just asked about it. Like, what would it take for us to get this player? So give me Watt in a first rounder. I'm good. Yeah, he ain't getting no TJ Watt for no Chris Olave. Yeah, somebody will get fired in Pittsburgh if they get rid of TJ Watt for Chris Olave and give up a first round draft pick. Nah, there's somebody be looking for a job. I'd rather be giving our team prediction ratings with wins and losses percentage than Kansas City, San Francisco, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Los Angeles, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Houston for the past several years. Our team's gonna be 11-5 for real. Jeremiah, look, I like the optimism, man, and I hope that you're right. If the Saints go 11-5, not only are the Saints gonna make the playoffs, but Kellen Moore gonna be coach of the year. He's gonna be coach of the year, man. You like that hoopty, TJ? Look, man, like I said, you just inquired about it, right? That don't mean that I'm gonna sell it to you. I think they can't afford him next year, Olave. Yeah, they can afford. Yeah, they can afford him. They can afford to pay him and extend him and still have some money left. Yeah, they can. That's not an issue. Nah, we need to keep Olave. He our best receiver. I agree with that. Like you ain't bring anybody in that can be able to do anything that can match what he has put on the field. So why would you give that up? That wouldn't be a good idea. Chris Olave isn't going anywhere, yo. Jeremiah, I would say never, but as of right now, I'll be shocked if he would. But, if a team throws a interesting bargain out there, like, you got to listen. But I don't think he's going to go anywhere. Realistically, 6-11, I'm hoping I'm wrong. Well, I think a lot of people hope that they're wrong. Like my 5-12 record, I hope that I'm wrong. If the Saints were going to trade Olave, we would decline his 5th-year option. No, not necessarily. No, that ain't true. That ain't true, Dalton. There's been teams who have picked up a player's 5th-year option. Still got traded. I'm trying to think. That was. Didn't the Saints get Eli Apple? He had a 5th-year option then with the New York Giants, and they ended up trading him. It was, man, that has happened. That's not out of the realm of possibility. Teams like trading players who are on a 5th-year option. No, I don't. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it makes it even more like, because the thing about it is not picking up a player's 5th-year option, and you end up trading that player or something like that. I think that maybe it kind of hurts that other team, right? Because if that team trades for that player, it picks up that player's rights, and by having that 5th-year option, it gives them a time to be able to negotiate in that player's 5th year. So I think that that would probably be smart to do, or if you don't pick up that player's 5th-year option and you try to trade them, I think it would still be smart because they would have to be on a prove-it deal, but it would give that team like a shorter period of time in order to decide if they want that player to be on their team or not. Because after that season, that player would become an unrestricted free agent more than likely, unless they put the franchise tag on him or something. Eli was garbage. They should have made him wear the paper bag. Let's see. So they can get another pick. 5th-year option is the move. Yeah. I mean, getting that 5th-year option, like I said, it makes it a little bit more attractive because, like I said, it gives that team that player for at least 2 years, right? Before they, necessarily have to make a deal with. Because that player still would have to go out there fourth year and fifth year play. And that gives that team an opportunity to be able to do a contract or negotiate a deal with them. What's going to happen with Randy and John, TJ? Look, I don't know, man. I mean, I know that match was a snooze fest. I know that. I know that much, man. I don't know, man. I just think that this. I mean, I guess this is a question for more like the wrestling show, but I'll answer it here. We're towards the end of the show. I think that when it comes down to it, I think that this whole experience with John Cena being a bad guy has been a flop. It's almost like when Hulk Hogan came back in 2003 and they tried to make him a bad guy and he wrestled The Rock and booed that boy out the building. You know what I'm saying? Like, they booed The Rock out the building for Hulk Hogan. Nobody wants to boo John Cena. Like, you spend years giving people what they want. I mean, what they finally wanted, which was John Cena being a bad guy and not people content. So, TJ, I just bought that white 12 jersey and that 14 Kool-Aid jersey. Did I waste my money? Nah, you ain't waste your money, man. I think that both of those players are going to be good. I'm hoping that Kool-Aid McKinstry changed his number, man. I mean, I ain't never seen a swagged out number 14. I'm sorry. I ain't never seen a swagged out number 14. Just don't look right on nobody. Quarterback. Definitely not a cornerback. Like, I think if that's the case, you should have gave you should have gave Donovan People-Jones 14, and I think he's like number 24. Like, you should have rocked that or something. I think Kool-Aid at one time he was 34 and he went to 14. Like, nah, man. I don't know, man. I guess because these players can wear any number that they want to now. It's like now everybody's like scrounging, for any number. Like all these. That's why some of these players like getting all these like unattractive numbers. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you got your star running back wearing 44 and whatnot. Like 14 don't look swaggy on nobody. 24 for the most part don't look swaggy on nobody. TJ, Saints supposed to get a new helmet. Thoughts? I like it, man. I hope that the helmet is white. I hope that is white and it goes with that color rush jersey. And I hope they get rid of that black helmet that they got with all them little fleur-de-lis that make a stripe, because not only does that have no swag, it has no wins either. All right. Every time they wear that black jersey, it just symbolize suck. All right. And honestly, every time they wear it, it symbolizes Dennis Allen. It's the Dennis Allen era. So like they stopped really wearing like those throwback, jerseys back from the early 90s because they sucked that time. They were the Aints at the time. Like, that's what they need to do with them black helmets, because they ain't win nothing. And when I see old black helmets, it just reminds me of the Dennis Allen era. So they need to go ahead and get rid of them joints. Let's see. TJ, remember that stretch when we won 11 to 13 games, 5 seasons straight? Real fans weren't impressed unless it came with the postseason success. The bar is high. Yeah. I mean, people want to see his team win. They want to see his team win, man. TJ, are you predicting a breakout season for Chase? No, not this season. I ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. If he ends up having a good season, great. If not, I said he was going to be a double-digit sack guy, and it didn't happen. So hopefully maybe in his 3-4, where it makes him kind of roam and be a little bit more free, maybe he'll be able to make some more plays. Let's see. What are your thoughts about rookie quarterback Tyler Shuck going to be a starting quarterback in week 1? Give me a thumbs up if you believe me about Tyler Shuck. Thumbs down if you don't believe me about Tyler Shuck. Me personally, I think he's going to be the starter. I mean, as unfair as it is, like, Spencer Rattler didn't win any games. Like, we can talk about the circumstances and why that happened, but it's basically he's synonymous with not winning anything. So because he didn't win anything, you don't really have any proof that he can possibly, like, he is just supposed to be that definitive guy. And like, okay, we're going to put these players with him. He's going to be a starter caliber talent. Now he's going to be our starting quarterback. Nah, man, you got to compete. And like I said, if he and Tyler Shuck are neck and neck, Tyler Shuck starting. TJ, how you seeing the South shape up in the end? I got the Buccaneers winning the division again. I got the Carolina Panthers coming in second, Falcons in third, and unfortunately, I got the Saints in last. That's the way I got it going. Yep, I got the Bucks, Panthers, Falcons, and Saints, and that's how I feel like the South going to shake up as of right now. The only throwbacks I wanted to see is the '86 Dawn Patrol era unis. Yeah, I like to see them go. I like to see them gold jerseys come back that they wore in the 2000s. I like to see that. I like to see that come back. Shuck has talent, but he needs a quarterback guru coach. Maybe Kellen is it. Yeah, could be. Kellen Moore is known for getting the best out of people. But I want to say thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate it. Much love to each and every one of you. Hope you enjoyed the show. Shouts out to King, Arthur, and Cool Sports for chiming in with us. Thank you for spending your Friday night with yours truly. I know that, so many people had things to do. You're probably out and about, probably, doing some things, enjoying yourself. But thank you so much for spending a few minutes of your time here on the State of the Saints podcast. And if you're new to the channel, I ask that you hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button, hit that bell for notifications. You can follow me on X at TJAYJones8. And also check out Saints Talk with Timothy J. Jones. That is available on Bleacher Report every single Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you check it out. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I got to say is, who dat?